There's been another prison uprising in West Tennessee. Good evening, everyone. I'm Steve Hayslip. April Thompson has the night off. The West Tennessee Detention Center in Mason is the scene of the uprising by federal inmates. It's the second uprising in just 8 days. A federal facility in Memphis, as you know, was rocked by a riot last week. Now, Mason is about 45 miles northeast of Memphis, straight up U.S. Highway 70. That's where the private prison run by Corrections Corporation of America is located. We have team coverage beginning with Tommy Stafford, who was the first reporter on the scene shortly after the uprising began. Tommy, what can you tell us now?
Steve, what we know at this hour is there were approximately 120 inmates here at the federal prison involved in some type of uprising here earlier today. It happened between 1 and 2 o'clock this afternoon. One of the housing units inside, according to the warden here at the prison, he says one of those units is completely destroyed. We've seen all types of riot gear coming in and out throughout the afternoon, also fire trucks and ambulances. We understand at this hour that the prison is now, the uprising has been contained and that everything is under control, and what we've seen is confirming that we see a lot of fire trucks and police cars that have been leaving now, so we do believe it to be under control. It had a lot of residents who live nearby wondering what was happening this afternoon.
I see the police are going all around the prison, circling around now. But I just thought it was a prison break. I didn't know it was a riot. But it didn't really scare me. I ain't thought too much about it, you know. And I just see them circling around there. And I see them come by here down the road, a lot of police and stuff like that. But like I said, I just thought it was a prison break. I didn't know it was a riot.
Now, Steve, we don't know exactly what the situation was inside. We do know that they're going to be holding a press conference in just a little over an hour, about 7 o'clock tonight. We hope to get some answers to some of those questions. Now, with all of this going on, it certainly is making residents here a little bit shaky with this happening today. Lurene Cachola is also joining us here, and she's been talking with those residents and tell us what they're saying about today's uprising. Lurene?
Well, Tommy, even though officials say that this disturbance has been contained, it brings little peace of mind to those who live very close to this facility. Many say they've heard of recent escapes, and tonight's uprising was very disturbing. But this prison has brought mixed reaction from the people in this very small community since it was built 6 years ago. Some say the jobs it brought here were just a welcome addition to Mason, but others say they've protested being here from the beginning.
It's been a problem and a scary thing ever since it's been here. They've had prison breaks, and sometimes we know about them and sometimes we don't.
Now, this has been a relatively quiet facility. The last disturbance was Christmas a few years ago. But other than that, most people say that this has been a very good prison, and some community members here believe that what we're seeing is just a chain reaction event that's happening at federal facilities across the nation. Tommy?
Lurene, and Steve, back at the station, one of the things that is to be noted that it looks like they got things under control relatively quickly this afternoon. We first found out about it around 1 to 1:30 this afternoon, and they were well on their way to getting it contained by the time we got here. So it looks like the situation is now back under control here in Mason.
Tommy, you were saying that one of the housing units, at least one, is destroyed. By that, do you mean that the actual structure has come down, or is it just that inside, things inside that one housing unit have been destroyed, like mattresses and trash cans burned and things like that?
From what we understand, that's the kind of damage. We don't think that it's actually been damage to the structure itself. It was just inside. They've demolished some things in there, like you referred to, mattresses and so forth, trash cans.
Well, now, we knew that the Covington Fire Department was on standby. The Mason Fire Department, I believe, was also there. Did you actually see any fire at all, Tommy?
No, we never saw smoke. Well, that was one of the odd things. We saw an awfully lot of fire equipment here, but we never saw any smoke, anything to indicate that there was a fire on the inside. But there were